Hi there, I'm with Bob Usher, MD of Apex Digital Graphics and recently elected Chairman of PICON, the UK Confederation of Print Industry Manufacturers and Suppliers. One of his remits will be to broaden PICON's membership and bring on board more digital and cross-media members. And given that one of the key priorities for PICON is to increase the effectiveness of its UK representation to government and to other bodies, he'll also be working closely with the GPMA. That's the collective of trade associations formed earlier this year and headed up by former PICON chief Peter Morris. So I'm here today to ask Bob about how PICON will represent print going forward. Hello there, Bob. To be blunt, I suppose, PICON means very little to most of my readers, and those that recognise the name probably think of it as a heavy metal club and has very little relevance to the wide format sector. Do you think that's a fair perception?
Probably, because we haven't gone out of our way to really publicise what PICON does effectively in the background. As a suppliers organisation, there used to be an organisation called the APMI, which was the Association of Printing Machinery Importers, and they were funded really by PICON when it owned IPEX. That organisation was made up of a significant number of heavy metal people from the press, offset litho presses and guillotine finishing people. But when PICON sold the IPEX show in 2006, the APMI and PICON themselves merged to form a new joint council. And from then, there has been a significant number of new people from the digital sector who joined the PICON organisation. And I name people like AGFA, EFI, and Screen and Fuji and companies of that nature that perhaps weren't members of APMI but have joined to see the benefits of the new organisation under the PICON umbrella.
As chairman, that you've said one of your key remits is to have a sort of recruitment drive to bring in new digital and cross-media players. How key is this recruitment drive to PICON's makeup and how it goes forward?
PICON, like the industry, needs to continually reinvent itself, and the attraction of new cross-media partners and the attraction of new digital partners as the industry evolves from print providers perhaps to agencies which are specialising in web based marketing and advertising evolve. So the industry is rapidly changing now, and PICON needs to keep a pace of that, otherwise the membership will become less relevant, and we've spent a lot of time trying to keep it in the aforesaid front line.
I know that PICON has a digital focus group that perhaps isn't widely recognised. Can you perhaps talk us through the membership of that and what its remit is?
PICON has 3 meetings per annum, chaired separately by Brian Filler of Screen UK. The new digital members that have joined that club are all the well-known names. For example, Xerox, Ricoh, Konica Minolta and Canon all have memberships, together with other providers of software that will sit on those meetings. The remit very much is a lot of it is networking, because one of the great things at PICON I found is a superb networking club where you're able to talk to your competitors around a table, where you can resolve issues over advertising styles or patent issues or whatever, or infringement, without the need to employ legal representation. It's a superb club for that. Also, PICON, what they provide is lots of health and safety information to people from consultants. They bring in specialist key speakers on environmental issues, health and safety issues, and likewise from finance companies that could help fund digital equipment, which in the past has been quite a challenge, particularly with high ticket number machines, where residual values, the perception of residual values for would-be funders aren't as easy to obtain as they would be for a piece of heavy metal with a supposed longer shelf life.
So does this digital group talk very much about the state of the market and trends, etc.?
Yeah, because PICON's main council meeting has a section on it, and it has done so for more than 6 years, where all participants around the table openly talk about their opinion of the state of the market. And that exact topic line has migrated into the digital focus group, where people who aren't on the main council are able to discuss their particular sector difficulties quite openly without any fear of a competitive element to that discussion.
PICON is obviously there to represent its members who are manufacturers and suppliers to the printing industry. So how do you see PICON changing as the membership does?
It may, as the industry gradually evolves from perhaps providers of print to agencies providing mail campaigns that are done via the web, then perhaps the support organisations, industry organisations have to change as well, because we believe firmly that there will still be some form of media. We've seen a significant reduction, for example, in terms of paper sales over the last 10 years, and lower cost email campaigns being mounted by ad agencies that don't necessarily use the printed media any longer, they just use the digital media via drop boxes. So PICON will have to monitor whether that evolution continues, or whether major organisations like Amazon and Google, for example, who were at one time having campaigns against using paper substrates and have now actually withdrawn that thanks to the Two Sides organisation that's been very, very active in pointing out the environmental benefits of paper. So we think, PICON thinks, that we will remain an organisation that supports providers of print, i.e. equipment suppliers into providers of print, rather than necessarily digital-based campaigns entirely done via the internet.
You've already said that PICON obviously supports IPEX, and in 2014 it will continue to do that. I mean, what's your take on trade shows in general?
Well, clearly FESPA, which moves around the world, has had a very successful trip to the Excel Centre, and with its family of digital suppliers, including your wide format suppliers, there is a danger that IPEX now has become wounded by the success of FESPA at the very venue where they are hoping to run a successful show in 2014. I mean, at the end of the day, PICON can only do so much because it's down to the individual members and their budgets and their perceived return on investment as to whether they go to IPEX or not. But PICON will always, and have done historically, assist members financially by subsidising the space that they have to buy at the IPEX show, and they've done that for many, many years. So that's been one of the huge advantages of being a PICON member, in before that even an APMI member, in that you can actually go to an IPEX show and save some money over and above the exhibitor organisers' fees.
Like your predecessor, Peter Morris, you've said that one of PICON's key aims is to help increase the effectiveness of the industry's voice to government and to other bodies. How do you see that manifesting itself?
Well, PICON will continue to have their consultant that does that lobbying, but now under the new consolidated organisation, the PICON representative will be able to talk on behalf of 7 bodies from 7 different sectors of the market. So we will be able to go forward from now on, thanks to Peter's great efforts, with a much larger representation to the government ministers. So we will continue to lobby, albeit that the organisation isn't yet as large as it could be. And if agreement could be made with other organisations in the UK, I think that would be better for the organisation, for the industry as a whole.
So from PICON's perspective, what do you think are the main issues impacting upon manufacturers at the moment?
The biggest challenge to all suppliers at the moment is one of margin, and the last 6 years have stripped bare many a margin, which is why we've seen so many people walking from IPEX. An improvement in the economy will enable some creative inventors to bring their machinery, new machinery, forward into the marketplace and begin to change the sector again.